This is a journey into sound.
Oh! Saluton amicoi. Sorry, I was still warming up my beautiful voice to our episode of this week of Young Bureaucrat in Brussels. That's what's up, we are here in the house and once more bringing you the best of the Brussels bubble. Don't forget, this is one more stepping stone in your path to become the next commissioner and / or member of the European Parliament. Here with us today we have a recent College of Europe graduate, a young lawyer that's coming to Brussels, the land of opportunities, the land of virtue, the land where everything is possible, especially if you have a new passport. And let's put it into us and let's have a very nice interview, very nice conversation, as we got already very used in his young bureaucrat in Brussels. So, welcome to the podcast. What do you have to say to our guests, both at home and at home?
Hey there, nice to meet me, and yeah, I'm doing pretty well, just pleasure to be on the show, looking forward to see the beautiful things that you can extract from my mind, so...
I bet your mind has a lot of great things, and if both of us are College of Europe graduates, I don't know if people back home know already, but I say at the College of Europe.
We're a pretty big deal, I don't know if you know about this, but...
But you can agree with me, there is not enough times to say it, right?
Exactly.
So here we are. I am drinking my cherry La Chouffe. Let me just take a sip.
Nothing like it.
Right? Amazing. And they say that like when you drink something and people still listen to you and don't lose attention, it's because you are a genius. So thank you guys for confirming. But actually, we were just discussing before. It's not really a big confirmation, right? We knew it already.
Precisely, we did.
I remember that we were just discussing now, because being in here in this very highly stimulating environment in Brussels is amazing. And especially if you are, because you said you are a competition lawyer, right?
That is correct, yeah. So I went to the College of Europe, the place to be for...
Amazing place to be
for if you want to, show your worth and, kind of come to Brussels and kind of sometimes confirm any kind of suspicions that you may have of your own self-worth. It's really the place to be. It's a fantastic place to go, fantastic school. And when I went to, after going to the college, I moved to Brussels. And it was just fantastic to be able to confirm in monetary value that I really am better than everybody else, My friends making a fraction of what I make for, arguably the same work. And yet here we are.
Arguably the same. I think arguably is the key word there. Because, sure, okay, you can say it like maybe you make more than like, I don't know, someone that does a very useless job like the cleaning stuff in your office. You probably may make more than them. But you studied at the College of Europe. So obviously you should be making more than them. And we know that you work more because you click on keys in the keyboard, you move your mouse, you bill customers. What's it compared to, like cleaning? Before you mentioned you had some suspicions. I think you're gonna realize that in Brussels, the only suspicions you have is if someone has the darker skin than you. You start to realize here that there are some good neighborhoods, and then there's neighborhoods where you hear Assalamu alaikum in the street all the time. And I know how this sounds, okay, the wokes will be, what are you talking? But come on, I think we can really realize that like in a Judaico-Christian society like Europe is.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I'm all for immigration, but do they have to be Muslim? Come on.
And especially, do they have to come without a master's degree in IT? But actually, it's funny because... both of us are actually also, I cannot say I am as white as Holy Mighty Margaret Thatcher, for example, I know I am a bit darker skin. Do you think like that...
You're so dark, it's kind of making me uncomfortable, to be quite honest. So.
It's the first time I've heard that, actually. It's because usually people would look more into my passport, and sometimes I wonder, is my passport the reason why I am working now in Brussels? But then I realize, actually, I stayed at the College of Europe. So that's the reason. All right. Yes, I think it's nice that we get to our age where we can see the monetary value of our worth. and it's good. I mean, of course, it's not the main reason because we work for ourselves. We should be virtuous for ourselves, but it's inevitable to compare sometimes with other people because we live in society, and especially in our Brussels society, which is so inclusive to everyone. I think it's normal that we compare each other to other people, right? So you said like you see monetary value being higher now, but do you like? Would you say it's like a common trait in your life, like people that earn more, necessarily more virtuous? What would you think?
So let me give you an example, okay? In 1 hour, I bill just as much as my mother earns from her pension in 1 month.
Wow.
And that is just unbelievable and so incredibly unfair because she doesn't do anything all month. So I don't know what she's getting paid for, to be quite honest. All right?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point because with me, for example, I also earn much more than my mother, and sometimes when I ask her for a cheese sandwich, she brings me a ham sandwich.
Like, come on, get it right. You know, we're barely even paying you. We shouldn't even be paying you that much, right?
Exactly, and it's division of labor anyway. Some people have the brains, some people have the sandwich hands. In any case, I think that what you bring is interesting about inequality because you are not even that rich, right? I understand like competition lawyers are not even that rich.
Yeah, so not really. So, you know, I was talking to one of my young associates the other day, and basically what we came to the conclusion to, you know, they were telling me about how, you know, life is good with the amount of money that they make and stuff, and I said, you know, it's never enough, okay? When I compare myself to my clients, I can't fly private.
Really?
Yeah, and honestly, it's a struggle. You have no idea how it feels and how humiliating it is to fly with all these plebs in the same plane in the sky. I don't want to be beside these people.
No, I feel you. I mean, yeah, sometimes when I come back to Brussels and I have to go like with families that have kids at 23 is the age you should be studying at the College of Europe. It's not an age to have kids. And all these people are there like raising people, kids crying. Man, what's like, people sometimes think, oh, all of you earn so much and you are so rich, really?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I came from humble beginnings. You know, my parents, you know, they're both lawyers, very humble profession, you know, working class. Humble working class individuals, you know, you can't imagine the amount of pressure that was on me to succeed at the College of Europe. You know, if you come from, you know, I don't know, let's say your mom's a janitor or a cleaner, whatever, if you fail, that's expected of you.
It's normal.
Of course you're gonna fail. But imagine me going for an interview at my parents' firm, knowing that they already know who I am and they know how I live. They know who I am. So imagine the extreme amount of pressure that I was under when I had to interview with them.
I think those interviews are much more difficult.
Of course. And I aced it, of course. But that's only because I'm better than everyone else who was going up for the same job.
And you work hard.
Exactly.
I think what people don't get is like some people say, oh yeah, but like rich people, then like if you have rich parents, you can get a job at their law firm. Like you can get it if you are very competent. You know, if you can inherit their own meritocracy, you can.
Exactly, but imagine having to say, I can only work at one firm, and at the end, I have to take over that firm. That is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't like that. Like having that life of taking over a firm, earning millions of euros, and still not flying private.
And to be honest, you know, just to sum it up, with great power comes great responsibility, you know? So it's not as easy as you think it is.
Wisely said. I think it was former Secretary of State, Mr. Henry Kissinger, who said it.
Great guy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? You probably saw that. But I was advocating for him to be patron de promotion of the College of Europe.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good pick. Definitely a good pick.
Like between him, Margaret Thatcher, it's always a bit of a doubt, right? Which one did better for the world and for Europe? But yeah, I mean, going back to it, and again, we talked about already, like your path, the pressure you had from your parents. I can share that actually, because my father, every time I didn't have an A+ and I had only an A, he would be telling me, "What? Why am I getting only an A? Do you think we're paying you holidays in Bahamas just for that?" And it's a big pressure. But I think we can proceed because, of course, now we're both in Brussels, now we're both working here. Life is going well, right? Because as you said, we are still at a lower class of society.
Absolutely. I could not agree more.
And sometimes I think people just like see us like some people see us, College of Europe graduates as some type of like gods, right? I know this. I heard people saying that.
I mean, let's be honest here. It is understandable.
That's a very good point. I was thinking that if I work hard, and I mean, of course, now that we are here, we prove ourselves to be hard workers.
Listen, buddy, if you just work hard, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, take a, very humble loan from your parents, 1 or 2 million, you should be able to get to where I'm at someday.
You think?
Absolutely.
Actually, that's so inspiring.
And, I think that one day you will maybe be able to achieve the European dream of one day reproducing what I have and becoming a partner yourself and exploiting the next generation of lawyers.
Sorry, exploiting. We are not. We're not in a communist manifesto retreat or something to talk about. What's exploiting even mean? What's class war? Like people talk about, oh look, exploit. No, we have like people that work hard, people that don't work hard because they don't want to. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think it's part of it's.
For example, the invalids, handicapped.
Man, honestly, like even if you are in a wheelchair, you can still build the milk packages to sell to the factory next door, right? You have 2 hands.
Yeah, you can roll on into the factory and get a great job done.
They see you rolling, they hating. I would really love. I think it would be a dream. I mean, not a dream right now because right now I'm on the dream job. But still, I think.
Wait. Your dream is to work? You have a dream job?
Well,
my dream is to not work and have others work for me.
It's a stepping stone, right?
Ah, I see. Perfect.
Because
now we're talking. Now we're on the same.
Because I know one day I may become a member of the European Parliament to take trips to Qatar.
Wonderful place, huh? Wonderful people. Wonderful.
You've been there?
Oh, plenty of times.
But let me guess, you flew Qatar Airways in business class and not private.
That's precisely right. And honestly, to this day, I'm still ashamed of it.
Honestly, I mean, I don't want to like bring you down, but I mean, I once saw someone that was wearing some like Vans €100 cheap sneakers flying business class. So if you are that level, let me tell you something. In the EU, though, so working, as you can understand, there is a big responsibility working for the European institutions. But we always love when we can interact with very competent lawyers, like you, like the lawyers from Apple and Microsoft, for example. Because recently we have fined these companies for like some violations. But let me tell you, even though I can see the companies are violating like the EU acquis, we can see that their lawyers are integral people, are like well-versed people, and they earn what they should. So I have a big respect, for like corporate lawyers. In fact, I watch Suits, and that brought me a lot of respect.
Yeah, a lot of people think that being a lawyer is, just like in the show Suits. And let me be honest, it's exactly like what you see in Suits. Every single day in the office, I'm basically just coming up with genius ideas that get us out of a pickle at the end of every single day. It's wonderful, really.
And making money, which is the most important.
Absolutely, the most important thing a human being could do.
Yeah, because I was reading a study, and I mean, everybody knows how hardworking corporate lawyers are. We have an idea of like how much people earn in corporate law. Very deserved, let me tell you that. But I saw a study that said like, so when you earn more than 70,000 euros per year, your happiness stops going up proportionally and goes to a plateau. So the more you earn, you're not that more happy. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so the other day I was talking to one of our young associates, and this guy, he came, wide-eyed, talking to me at lunch, and he said that, by the way, I was paying for, and he said, I feel like at the point that I'm at, I just couldn't be happier in life. Life is good. I couldn't be happier even if I earned, 2, 3 times, 4 times more money. And I looked at him, and I was like, wow, this kid just doesn't understand shit. Because honestly, it's never enough.
Kids don't get it.
It's never enough. And, I was recently looking at private islands and private jets. And, imagine how awful I felt when I just wasn't able to afford them. Sure, 3.5 million euros a year a couple years ago. Now I'm at 5.5. But what is that? That's chump change. Look at the people that we work for. These people fly private, and I have to fly in a plane with a bunch of friggin' bums? No, thank you. This same associate was telling me how, he was trying to, tell me, okay, things aren't so bad for me. And he was saying, sure that I can't fly in private, but that given the salary that we give him, he can only afford, EasyJet and Ryanair, and that he, packs stuff into his backpack so he doesn't have to pay for luggage. And, that really got me thinking. And I was thinking, why do we pay him so much that he can afford a flight? Because he should be taking, Flixbus, something like that. Why do we pay him so much? We're clearly overpaying this guy.
And it only creates expectations.
And he only has 2 master's degrees. Come on.
Only 2 masters?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a master in business and administration?
Absolutely not. I don't know what is wrong with the world, but we're paying this guy way too much.
Let me guess. He's not a College of Europe guy.
In fact, he's not. He's from King's College. Yikes!
King's College, more like pleb college,
Yeah, more like Burger King College.
right? Because I'm sure it's where these people eat every day, and not in a 3-star Michelin.
No, I'm pretty sure it refers more to the types of jobs that they'll get after their worthless degree.
Because everybody knows if you don't get the loan to study at the College of Europe, you're gonna work at Burger King. Those are all very good points, actually, and it's good to have this exchange. To have an exchange with the former College of Europe alumnus as well. I don't know if you guys knew already back home in today's episode, but we will say at the College of Europe. And I think it's where you talked about like the difference, like inequality between like your wage now, your mother's wage. I think it brings us to an interesting point because I know that your family comes from the Middle East. So it must be interesting for you to be now in what we can describe as the garden of the world, right? As Europe. I don't. Do you want to share some like impressions you have, some comparisons? We can discuss it. I think it's a very good topic to discuss today.
Yeah, so when I was chatting with my friends back home, one of them was a brain surgeon, one of them was an engineer, and they were telling me about their lives and stuff like that. And I was just looking at them and saying, it's so funny that these guys are happy with their sad lives because, they studied in the Middle East and I studied in Europe. So clearly I'm a lot better than them, no matter what they think. And it's just sad that they just don't realize it.
Well, if you earn more, maybe you should tell them how much you earn. I think
Trust me, I've told them many times.
I think it makes conversations much clearer because when you know someone earns better or more or less than you can because to me I feel it. If I know someone earns more or less than me, I can tune my voice, I can tune my the speech to match, because if someone earns more than me, which of course doesn't happen often,
and they're probably smarter, right? That's the only way it works.
Exactly. But I'm surprised. I didn't know Middle East had also brain surgeons and engineers. I thought Middle East had mostly bombists.
Yeah, but we do need surgeons for after the bombing. So of course somebody needs to take.
Is it the same university? So you can have in the morning bombist classes, in the afternoon medicine classes. Very interesting. I think our future commissioners and /or MEPs back at home having the same mindset and the same good time that we've been having this conversation. So as a last wrap up, I want to ask you, because in an increasingly polarized world, in an increasing world, you see a bit more friction, more tension. How do you see the role of a competition lawyer in building this functional society that we are all fighting for and striving for every day in Brussels?
So to give you an example, the other day I was talking to my nephew. I was reading him a book, Robin Hood, which I'm sure you know of, right? And I was reading this book, and all I could think was of the striking similarities between Robin Hood and myself. Taking from the ultra rich and giving to myself.
If the ultra rich can buy, let's say, 2 private jets,
yes.
If you take from them charging your bills, your fees that we all know are very
modest,
then in the end 2 people have a private jet. That's redistribution, right?
Exactly. Redistributing to myself, as it should be.
So in the end, the point is that if you work hard, one day you will also be able to earn a private jet. And this is what I want people back home to understand. Like if we all work hard, one day we can all own a private jet. We can all fly in our comfort, and that's the same both for me, both for our lawyer here, and both for the janitor that works in our office. Everybody can have it as long as you work hard.
I couldn't agree more. Thanks for having me, and I just wanted to, spread the love and, the one main idea that brought me here, good vibes and EU values.
I think it's it for today. Thank you very much for being on that side. You make this podcast what it is, and we hope that once again you feel inspired. Don't forget, this podcast costs no money.